Topic number one today. Rosters aren't completely finalized, but they are kind of trying to starting to fall into like the almost finalized rosters. I think some international prospects are getting added. Maybe some reclass guys might be in the fold. Also, still guys in the portal. Des Claw's still in the portal, if anyone was wondering. But what I want to do, Deion, is I want to do a top 10 post NBA draft deadline. Now, this stemmed from our good friend of the program, as I always say, Jeff Borzello, dropped on ESPN his top 10 post deadline, which I will read real quick here. And I want to come up with our top 10, and maybe it differs, maybe it does not. But Jeff Borzello and ESPN have Purdue at one, Florida at two, Houston at three, UConn at four, St. John's at five, BYU at six, Louisville at seven, Michigan at eight, Kentucky at nine, and Texas Tech at 10, rounding out the top 10. Before we get to our 10, Dion, any quick thoughts on as I read off that top 10?
No Duke.
No Duke. No, Duke is not. Duke is at 12, for those wondering. Duke actually dropped in the previous ranking, they were six. They got dinged pretty well with Cedric Coward, who was a borderline first round pick, leaving and remaining in the draft. But you know what?
Can we
This is
talk
our
about?
top 10, so if Duke wants to be in there, we can talk about it. But I guess let's start at one. Are we good with Purdue being one?
Yeah, I'm very good with Purdue being one. I think Purdue's the best team in the country pretty easily.
Are we sure it's not Houston?
Yeah, I am. Listen, I watched Houston in person, kind of, and the people, the players they're returning are less impressive to me than the ones Purdue is returning. It's still a very good group, but um, there's a very clear athleticism difference, I would say, in both games Houston played in.
I mean, I love where Houston's at with what they got coming back and the talent they got coming in as freshmen. I'm fine with Purdue one. I feel like that's the other team that I think could be number one. But with that said, I'm pulling rank. Houston's number two.
Yeah, that's fine. I think Houston's two for sure.
Okay, so we got Purdue one, Houston two, now three. Some teams that could be in the fold here. You have UConn, you have Florida, you have St. John's. If you feel higher about other teams, like Kentucky's still around, where are you which way you think you're going with three here?
I think you got to go UConn here.
I think you're going. So the only thing that I think we got to think about here is there a national championship bump with Florida at all? Like Florida with Boogie, Xavier. I know you're a little bit downer on Florida than the masses.
No, look, it's hard to do a national championship bump when the selling point is two players that didn't play on the national championship team.
Yeah, but three did.
Yeah, but those aren't the selling point on Florida.
No, okay, that's fair. So third, you want to go UConn?
Yeah, UConn.
All right, I like UConn. Obviously they got a lot coming back. If you are the defending champion, though, you got to be in the top five. Florida's got to be four.
This video is brought to you by NBA2KLab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. They're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
Ooh,
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's, that's New
New
York.
York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is that
Colorado.
this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video.
Florida four, but Kentucky has to be five. And Kentucky fans, for what it's worth, I would have Kentucky four.
So you have Kentucky over St. John's. You have Kentucky over BYU, Louisville, Michigan, all those teams.
My thing with St. John's is you're bringing in an Ian Jackson and a Josan Seinan, who I think are literally the same exact player, and Ozziah Sellers, who's on like his third or fourth team. And then Hopkins, who I think the team revolves a little bit around Bryce Hopkins, and we just haven't seen him play a ton. And when some of your best players have the question marks they have, it's an extremely talented roster, top 10 team. I don't have questions about Kentucky or BYU or Florida.
Okay, so you want to go Kentucky five?
Kentucky five for sure,
All
yeah.
right, so we have Right now, our top five would be Purdue, Houston, UConn, Florida, Kentucky. Now maybe things get a little bit interesting on where we're gonna go with this. So we are on to number six.
I think 6 is BYU.
I think six is BYU as well. We are not going to die down to BYU. For what it's worth, I'd have BYU higher. I'd have BYU above Kentucky for what it's worth.
If we got to see one AJ Depends again,
Actually, maybe no. Kentucky's no. Actually, I'm fine with this. Kentucky at five, BYU at six feels good.
I think the thing with Kentucky is JQ's like healthy. Like that was the question mark, and it's very clear he's playing this year and he's playing early on this year. And if JQ's playing early, like that dude is a legit NBA player that just can't play in the NBA this year.
Yeah, that's no, that's fair. That's definitely fair to say. All right. Now we're on to number seven.
Duke. We like so they like I just want to throw something out there. They fell because a borderline first round pick chose not to go there, and instead they got a lottery pick to replace the borderline first round pick. And that's why they're falling
So we're just calling Dame Sarr a lottery pick.
in next year's draft, most likely.
You sure?
Listen, I like Kamenia's game. Kamenia ain't playing over Dame Sarr.
Mm. I have a hard time not putting St. John's above them. Even with the question you had, they still got a really good team.
St. John's is a collection of players that wanted to go to Duke.
That's such a bar that I'm gonna reward it when I shouldn't. I'm gonna reward it when I shouldn't. But St. John's is eight.
Yeah, we can do St. John today.
All right, now we're at 9, 10 here.
Actually, St. John's at 9, Louisville at 8.
I'm fine. I can't. Louisville should be ahead of Duke, man.
Oh no.
Yes, they should. Don't throw the L's up and put them behind Duke.
Look, listen, Isaac McNeely, he been losing to Duke for 4 years.
He might not. That's like the ninth. That's like the ninth player on the team.
No. McNeely and Conwell are like the two best players on the team.
Listen, in my opinion, I know McNeely's probably going to start, but like Michael Brown, Conwell, uh, Woolley, all better than McNeely.
Listen, if your argument for Louisville is Michael Brown, and I'm not saying he's not ready yet. Like I watched the
Michael
McDonald's
Brown's going to have to remind. I mean, I don't know how much longer I'd have to hold the torch, but he's about to remind folks. Y'all really got my dog messed up.
remind. He has to show us.
He's gonna show you,
He might. I'm not saying here's the thing about Michael. They don't need Michael to be in the top 10. Like you could just start Woolley up.
baby Kyrie.
Baby Kyrie's crazy.
Come on, Michael. Feeling your back, Michael. All right. So Louisville 8, 9 St. John's.
Yeah. Then
Okay.
10 is either Tech or Michigan, I think.
So for the last spot,
I haven't pulled a rank yet.
you have not pulled rank yet.
Michigan.
I would put Texas Tech there for what it's worth, but I'm fine with that. All right. So our top 10 post deadline, we have 1 Purdue, 2 Houston, 3 UConn, 4 Florida, 5 Kentucky, 6 BYU, 7 Duke, 8 Louisville, 9 St. John's, and 10 Michigan. I feel good about that.
I feel good
For,
about that too.
for the most part. Free my Texas Tech Red Raiders, free my Arkansas Razorbacks, free my Arizona Wildcats, free my Auburn Tigers. Let's go.
There's only 10 teams in the top 10.
Not in my top 10. Let's move to the next segment.